So we're on the top of Cross Mountain overlooking Fredericksburg. We're about 1,915 feet above sea level. What's spectacular about this place is the incredible view from the top of a ridge overlooking the valley, the fertile valley of Fredericksburg to the south of us. This is a heavily agricultural area. It's underlain by the Hensel sandstone, which is Lower Cretaceous, which is one of the early deposits in the Lower Cretaceous onlapping the Llano Mountains. And after that, there are limestones and marls of the Glenrose Formation and the Forterro Formation, which are very difficult to erode, and the ridges where these erosional remnants remain, like right here at Cross Mountain, gives great vistas and views. And the Indians, early Indians in this area, use this as a major lookout point. So it's Cross Mountain on a beautiful, clear spring morning. So good morning from the top of Cross Mountain, overlooking historic Fredericksburg, Texas. This is an incredible place because this area is rich in history and it's rich in agriculture. There's great peaches, fruits, and yes, wines that grow on the Hensel sandstone soil that underlies Fredericksburg, Texas in the valley. But we're standing up on a ridge, and what makes this ridge wonderful is it is a great place to view a large area. So the question is, for a geologist, why is there a ridge here? And so having this geologic map, it's the San Antonio and Llano sheets from the BEG spliced together. Fredericksburg is this big valley, east-west trending valley. The yellowish green is the Hensel sandstone, and the dark green is the Glenrose, and the light green is the Forterro. So from bottom up, it's Hensel, Glenrose, Forterro. So the Forterro is the youngest, and it is the most resistant, and it makes ridges that are topographic highs. And farther to the north, behind us, is Enchanted Rock in the major Paleozoic and Precambrian complex known as the Llano Uplift. And there's a riddle to the Llano Uplift. The puzzling thing is that in a lot of geology, the older rocks, in this case the Paleozoic and Precambrians, are high, and the younger rocks are in synclines or lows. But in this case, there's a topographic inversion. The older rocks are not high, they're low because they're weathered, they're intensely fractured, and the chemical breakdown of the granites and the plutons have caused the older rocks to weather into a topographic low. The younger rocks are made up of very weathering resistant limestones and marls that form ridges, and these Cretaceous ridges, although younger, are higher. So a major physiographic province here, and it's a delightful place to explore. Well, we've just come down from the tippy top of Cross Mountain overlooking historic Fredericksburg, Texas, and we're looking at the rocks on the way down that comprise this ridge. And let's go have a closer look. So you can see that these are very light gray, white weathering limestones and marls, a lot of clay, nodular texture in weathering. Not seeing a lot of large fossils, so it's very fine-grained. And it's a very resistant limestone ridge.
What formation is it again?
So out of the Lower Cretaceous, the two options are Glenrose or Forterro. So near the top of Cross Mountain, overlooking Fredericksburg, Texas, the Lower Cretaceous outcrops are pretty well exposed. And what's really interesting about these upper beds is that they have a lot of layering. Look at the flagginess. So there's a lot of thinly bedded limestones with silts and clays. And there's a color change. There's a more massive unit below us as we get into the more thinly bedded material above us. And in the more massive units, there's some orange and yellowish weathering, and even potentially some silts or maybe some clastics being reworked. But it's a very significant change in facies from the lower unit to the upper unit. And how it all fits together, we need to look at some more outcrops. There's some fracturing too.